Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we have the 1 month review of the Nike Tiempo Legend 10 Elite. But before we get into the review, make sure you guys go down and check your subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you just smack it. Please subscribe and like the video. That'd be really cool. But let's take these out the bag. You're gonna immediately see that they have been used a lot. Look at that. They are, I hope it shows on camera, but these things are dirty. Before y'all come at me at the comments, do you guys like to clean your boots? Because there's something about just having a dirty boot that makes you feel like accomplished, if you know what I mean. But okay, let's slap these on. All right, going back to the first testing video that I did, I think I gave these a 9.5 or like a 9.8. I don't know. All I know and all I remember is that the rating was very high. And I can confidently say that I think that rating is either going to stay the same or slightly go up, because I just slipped these on with grip socks and they're just the most comfortable boots I've worn in a very long time, even compared to the new Predator Elites. And I'm confidently saying that these are fully broken into. Like, there's no weird pressures anywhere on my foot anymore. I think when I first bought the boot and put it on, I was feeling some pressure right here on the inside of my foot where the Fly Touch Plus logo is at, but that is just completely gone. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the style. I usually don't rate the style, but these are one of my favorite boots as far as how they look. One key component about the style that I really like is this like little Nike badge right here, or the Tiempo badge that they have right here. It just looks so clean. I really like it. And I've also really come to like how they did the Nike swoosh here on the side, instead of doing it how they did with the Mercurials, just right here in the front. I'm not gonna lie, the one on the front looks clean too, but the side just looks way cleaner. Now, as far as stability and all that, I know I've said previously that I love it when brands do the sock-like feel. So for example, these specific cleats, the sock-like feel is going to be called the Fly Knit Upper, and it's literally the sock part. I really like that addition, just because it gives you a little bit more lockdown, a little bit more closer feel with the actual boot itself. And I've found myself warming up without actually tying up my laces, so I'll warm up with just slapping the boot on, and it already feels nice and snug. And as soon as I'm ready to go, tie the laces up and then start playing or shooting around. But speaking about stability, and I know I just said I really liked it, but the heel area itself could use for a little bit more stability. My heel is very movable, but that's just naturally going to come with a boot like this, just because the heel area is slightly lower and not like a high top like a Superfly. So that's that. It's not insanely good and it's not terribly bad. I would say it's a little above, I guess it's closer to insanely good and the middle. That made sense in my head. Now, the main thing about this boot that has sparked the controversy all over online whenever it released, the Fly Touch Plus. So the upper, the synthetic leather. All right, I said this when I first tested the boot, and I'm gonna say it again. It's nice. It's not leather, that's for sure. As far as how it's breaking into my foot, I think it's broken into it actually really nicely. If anything, I kind of prefer how this broke into my foot instead of like actual leather, because actual leather is going to be a little bit more loose, like to the slightest. And because this isn't actual leather, it's kept a little bit more stability than what actual leather would. Okay, now that I've said that, I don't care if you come at me in the comments, I'm standing by that, because I actually really like these boots and I really like the synthetic leather. Not putting aside actual leather and its greatness, but these synthetic leather's nice. Don't knock it. It's nice, but it does has its downsides, and I'm not sure if this is the actual synthetic leather itself or just the coating that's on top of the leather. So like the tealish coating, the bluish coating that's on top of it. That's because on the sides, on like random parts on the boot, there's a little bit of whiteage, and it looks like the boot is just discoloring. Now that's a load of cap. I just marked it off. It was just paint from the line. Completely disregard that. No discoloring yet, so far so good. All right, so now let's talk about my favorite part of the boot, and that is going to be the sole plate. I mean, one, just take a look. It's clean. It's the, as I described it in the first video, the cookies and cream sole plate, and I'm sticking to that because, dude, it looks like cookies and cream. That's not just like the turf, it's actual cookies and cream-esque. But the reason I really like this sole plate is because I would say it's the best, closest thing you can get that's good on AG and FG, just because the studs, the majority of the studs on the sole plate are just circular and they're not terribly long. So I've been playing on FG the majority, or sorry, I've been playing on AG the majority of the time, and I haven't felt any crazy pressure spots whenever I'm stepping or shooting or even turning and dribbling, and it's actually really nice. But that being said, I don't recommend wearing an FG boot on AG grass, just because boots are meant to be worn on their designated fields. But if you want to wear these on AG, I think it's perfectly fine, in my opinion. But yeah, so far, 1 month in, these boots have honestly, I was aiming for crossbar, that was actually so close. These boots have honestly been, I would say, my top 2 that I've ever worn. They're really nice. The Fly Touch Plus upper, the synthetic leather, gives a really good feel just all around whenever you're shooting, dribbling, passing. And yeah, like generally when you're wearing a leather boot, you have a little bit more cushion compared to like a synthetic upper. Because this is a synthetic leather, it has a little bit less cushion than an actual leather boot, but it has more cushion than a regular synthetic boot, if that makes any sense. So there's cushion. It's not insane like regular leather, but I think it molds perfectly like around my toes, my whole foot, if I'm being honest. And I would say I generally have like, I don't have a really skinny foot or a really wide foot. I'm kind of in between, and I've had no really big issues with these. That felt good. Like I said before, like 90% of the time that I'm out here filming, shooting, playing, training, I'm out on this pitch, an AG pitch. These are marketed as FG boots, and generally if you're wearing an FG boot on an AG pitch, you're gonna see tearage, like tearing on the sole plate a lot quicker than what you would see on an FG pitch. So far, knock on wood, somewhere there's no wood anywhere. There's been no tearage to the boots. The sole plate is completely intact. No rippage, anything. I would say they're almost in perfect condition, apart from the fact that they're broken into my foot. All right, this part of the video is meant for me to tell you about things that I dislike about the boots, but if I'm being honest, there's little to nothing to say. Apart from the fact that on the Fly Touch Plus, like the dotted area, like the little grips that they added, I said this in the first video and I'm going to say it again, they're essentially useless. I haven't felt any difference between using like this part in my outside of my foot in like grip or actual good feel on the ball. But I mean, I guess it gives a good aesthetic look to the boots, but apart from that, there's honestly not too much that I can complain about these boots. So with all that being said, as far as rating the boots, I'm not too sure what I said in the first video, but let's do 2 points higher than that. Just because I was a little iffy about the synthetic leather molding into my foot like actual leather. But these, like I said, they're fully broken into and they feel amazing. No pressure points on the heels, just like anywhere. It feels like, I mean, I've only been wearing them for a month and it feels like I've had them for a very long time. Do I recommend these boots? Come on. 1, they look clean. 2, Nike dropped like the pearl or like emerald, some sort of like Pokemon themed. I'm just kidding, it's not Pokemon themed, but the most recent ones, the colorways that dropped for their 30th anniversary, I think, those are clean, and I really like these boots. Once again, if you're gonna get these, I recommend getting them true to size. So I'm a size 10.5 US. These are size 10.5 US. And if you haven't already, like the video. If you're not subscribed yet, at least just like the video, and then consider maybe in the next video hitting that subscribe button. I would appreciate it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Top left. Dun 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 dun. The Dutch door, man.